you have any way to verify that you are who you say you are?
No.
Okay, so...
I'll verify it by putting handcuffs on you.
That's not... Why?
Because you've been ordered to turn off the cameras.
Everybody, this is Blind Justice. I'm on streets of Ocean Shores, Washington. Spent some time walking around trying to find where the mayor's office is. Went to one building that I went to last week. They directed me to a different building about 3/4 of a mile away, something like that. So hiked over there. That's with the fire department, and then the police station is next door, and the library. Did a little walk around there. Nobody. There was one person that told me like what building was what, but then after that there was didn't really find anybody except for the library. There were people there. Sat there for a bit because I was told that the police station was closed until 1:30. Stayed there until 1:30. Went and checked the police station. It was closed again. Somebody came up and said that they were having court over here at this convention building. So check it out.
There's no cameras allowed in the courtroom.
Sorry?
There's no cameras allowed in the courtroom.
Okay, who are you?
Sgt McManus.
With?
Ocean Shores Police Department.
Okay.
Turn off the camera, put the lens cap on, or the judge will find you in contempt of court.
Okay, is there a statute?
That's the court's order.
Do you have a written order?
No, it's the court's order.
Okay. Is you have anything in writing with that?
Nope. Turn it off now, or I'll bring you up in front of the judge, and he will send you straight to jail.
For what now?
For contempt of court.
How's that?
By not following the judge's order.
This is open to the public, correct?
No, it's not. This is a courtroom. You can be out in the lobby and video. You can be in the parking lot. You cannot be in this room.
Okay.
Turn off the cameras or leave. Immediately.
So,
immediately.
Okay. So you're saying you're who?
Sgt McManus.
Do you have any... Can I verify that? Do you have any way to verify that you are who you say you are?
No.
Okay. So...
I'll verify it by putting handcuffs on you. I'll verify it by putting handcuffs on you.
That's not... Why?
Because you've been ordered to turn off the cameras.
But by somebody who hasn't identified themselves to me.
I have identified myself to you.
Okay. I can't verify that. I can't see your whatever you're saying you are.
My name is Sgt. David McManus with Ocean Shores Police Department.
Is there any way I can
My
verify
badge
that?
number is 4S1.
Okay. Can I verify that? Like, do you have any braille or anything?
Step up front.
Identification?
Step up front.
Please don't touch me, sir.
Step up front.
Why are you touching me?
Because you are going up in front of the judge. And he is going to find you in contempt if that camera
Okay,
is still on when you get there.
You can't touch me.
Yes, I can.
No, this is assault. Stop touching me.
Turn off the camera now.
Why are you touching me?
Because I am bringing you up in front of the judge.
Release me, please.
You have 5 seconds to turn off the camera or come up in front of the judge.
Okay, I'll leave
1,
if you let me go.
2,
I'm gonna leave.
3. You're just fine out in the lobby. The rest of it is a public building, but this is a courtroom.
This isn't a public courtroom?
This is a public courtroom, but the judge has issued an order that no cameras are allowed in the courtroom. That's all there is to it.
Okay. Do you have that in writing anywhere?
Nope.
So, he just gets to trump the First Amendment with his voice?
He is a judge.
Okay. And that supersedes the First Amendment of the Constitution of the United States?
Separate branches of government.
No, everything falls underneath the First Amendment. Like, the Constitution is the law of the land. You realize that, right?
I do.
Okay. Did you take an oath to uphold that?
I do.
Do you think you're upholding your oath now?
I am.
Okay. You put your hands on citizens, you just boss them around?
For citizens who don't do what they're told, yes. For citizens who don't do what they're told, yes.
Okay. But you haven't identified yourself.
I have repeatedly.
No. I've got to be able to verify who you are. Are you familiar with the Americans with Disabilities Act?
I am.
Okay. Yeah, it means you have to make a reasonable attempt to identify yourself to somebody.
I have.
I can't visually identify you, right? So anybody can come up to me and say they're Sgt McManus from the Ocean Shores Police Department. Well, I got to be able to verify.
With you, you've got a good point. I don't obviously have anything in Braille.
Okay.
Feel me over. Feel my badge.
No, I'm
feel
not
my
gonna touch
gun.
you, and I'm not
no,
gonna-
I am absolutely
I'm not gonna
inviting
put-
you to do so.
No.
Mr. Knight, come over here. Would you give me a hand? There's just a gentleman from town.
Okay.
I want you to verify that I'm inviting him to touch me
Yeah.
and confirm that I am a police officer.
I'm not going to put my hands on him. He already put his hands on me.
Sgt McManus.
Okay. Thank you, man.
You're more than welcome.
Yeah. No,
That's
I don't put my hands on people.
If you're invited, it's not an assault.
Yeah. Okay.
So you've got a good point. There's no way I can verify it. I don't carry an ID card that has Braille on it. Mm-hmm. So that's the best thing I can do to offer you to confirm. You can ask anyone in this room to confirm that I'm in uniform. You can feel it yourself. I am more than willing to let you touch my badge, my gun, feel my gun belt, all that stuff.
Yeah.
So whatever it takes to confirm that, I will be happy to do that.
Yeah. I don't feel comfortable. That seems like a very dangerous road to go down. Like saying I can touch your gun.
I'm not worried about it.
Okay.
It's a secure holster. I'm not worried about you getting it out.
Okay.
So
yeah.
if that would make you confirm, can you suggest any other way I can confirm this? That I can confirm my identification.
Have something in Braille.
I don't.
You know, yeah, I don't know what to tell you, man.
Well, there's no requirement for that.
Well,
there's a requirement that I make a reasonable accommodation for your disability.
Yeah.
I'm doing the best I can. That's what I can do.
Okay.
So that's the best suggestions I can have, unless you have something else. I do not have anything in Braille.
Yeah.
We would have the same thing of various other disabilities, not to mention other languages. I mean, there's only so much we can cover.
Sure.
But like I said, there are several people in this room that will come over and confirm who I am. Mm-hmm. If you'd hadn't left the room when you did, we'd be up in front of the judge and he'd confirm it for you at the time he ordered you to go to jail.
Okay.
So
where would I go to try to get a court order, like in writing? You say it doesn't exist, right?
Right. Judges are allowed to control their courtrooms in any way they want.
It's a public court. It's not their courtroom. You realize that, right? It's the public's. It's
No.
the public courtroom.
The judge is in control of it. It is a public thing. Okay. You can be in there. He just can resist. He can restrict cameras.
And why? No, but why would somebody do that?
That's his decision.
Right.
But
it doesn't trump the First Amendment. It doesn't trump the right of the people to the right of the press, right? The freedom of the press.
Well, if you want to challenge that, let's go back in. He'll find you in contempt of court, and you can challenge it in court.
Why do you guys always want to use violence to try to challenge it?
I'm not saying violence. I'm saying if you want to challenge it, that would be the way to challenge that.
Right, but that would mean that you would physically put cuffs on me and drag me to jail. Right, so that's violence, right? Taking me against my will and putting me in a cage is violence.
Well.
Right? But I don't understand why that's the route you want to go.
That's the only route I have available to me.
Really?
I don't have any other way for you to challenge that decision than to actually be charged with the crime. Sometimes that's the route.
But you swore an oath just like I did to uphold the First Amendment, right?
Mm-hmm. And to follow the orders of my judge.
But that's where we disagree, right? Because some man's order doesn't trump the Constitution of the United States.
Well,
right? You swore an oath to that. You didn't swear an oath to some judge that is elected or isn't elected. I don't know how they get judges here.
he has authority to control his courtroom.
Okay. Yeah. So that is that's an issue. You can raise that. You can say, hey, there's a First Amendment issue here. There's a constitutional issue
Right.
here. You can vocalize that. You
Yeah.
can do that. You can do that in open court, right? Instead of going the route of, you know what, let's put cuffs on this guy and let a higher court figure it out. I swore an oath to the First Amendment. You swore an oath to the First Amendment. He swore an oath to the First Amendment. Let's uphold our oaths.
Yes. So
Right.
I don't know what your other options are. You could file some sort of writ with the court, but you can't be in the courtroom with a camera until that's settled.
Okay.
That's all there is. It's just not allowed. And if you pay attention to news reports on television and stuff like that, some courts allow it, some do not. You know, I don't know if you're familiar.
Yeah.
I don't know when you lost your sight.
Yeah. It's about 7 years ago.
Okay, so you've probably seen before that, a lot of courts would have court artists
Sure.
because cameras were not allowed.
Yeah.
That is something that's been, as far as I know, upheld for everywhere in the country.
Yeah, and that's an issue. Like that's something that activists are trying to raise an issue.
It's probably been
all
challenged
over the
before,
country.
and
Yeah.
as far as I know, no one has ever won that.
Yeah.
So if they have, you might want to get something like that, and you can certainly file that with the court for their information. But for today, my judges told me no cameras.
Okay. When was that? Was it just specifically for today, or is it a standing rule here?
It's been standing rule. Years ago, we had one of our city councilmen got a DUI, and the local reporter wanted to cover it and wanted to take pictures in the courtroom, and he had to get special permission from the judge to be in there and he was only allowed to take a picture of that defendant and no one else in the room. He was able to take one picture and then he had to leave.
Okay.
So this has been a standing procedure of this court. So it's nothing new.
Yeah. Well, what do you think about it? Do you think that an open court that's open to the public should be open to the press?
To the press, yes,
Yeah.
but that doesn't mean cameras,
How not? How's that not cameras?
because that's up to the judge.
Okay. But I mean, they didn't have cameras back in the 1700s, right?
Right.
So the press then was pen and paper, pencil and paper. So today press is video, even live video, you know,
Yeah.
that people can
And
see what's going on.
some courtrooms do allow that.
Right.
It is totally up to the judge on how they run their courtroom. So, not much I can do about it.
Okay.
It's not my decision.
But you believe that deferring to a local municipal judge trumps the First Amendment of the Constitution?
I believe he has the right and authority to control his courtroom and make those orders. Yes, I do.
Wow. Okay. Do you know when the police department will be open again? Because I tried, I stuck around to about 1:30. Did I talk to you earlier?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. They should have opened at 1:30.
All right.
So unless the clerk is sick or something like that, I haven't been in. I worked graveyard last night.
Yeah.
Slept a few hours and came in to do court.
Okay.
So I don't know if she's in today or not.
Yeah. Somebody came by and said that they were doing court here, so then I came over here to figure out what was going on.
Understood. And I understand. Like I said, out here in the lobby is perfectly fine.
Yeah.
It's just the courtroom has got a rule.
Yeah. It just seemed like everything the city buildings were all shut down. I figured everybody was over here. Wanted to be able to talk to somebody about different incidents that happened last week. So.
Yeah. No. The court is totally separate.
Okay.
I mean, what's going on at City Hall or anything like that.
Yeah.
Because we don't have an established courtroom.
Yeah.
We have to bring everything over here once a month for court. So
Oh, that's the way you were loading up stuff?
that's what I was
okay.
loading up
Gotcha.
with all the files to
Gotcha.
come over here for court.
Gotcha. All right.
So anyway, God, I don't have any cards. I used my last card last night.
All right. Well, yeah, I mean, you can expect a complaint, obviously, like
Sure.
for putting your hands on me.
Absolutely. But you didn't do what you were told to do.
Well, you also didn't identify yourself.
I did,
in a way
repeatedly.
that I can verify. Like
Well-
anybody can come to me and say, "Hey, get out of here! I'm Sergeant so and so." You understand that, right? I
Yep.
think you understand that.
Yeah, except for I also don't believe you're blind.
Okay.
I've watched a lot of your videos.
All right. And what are you basing that off of?
Just things I've seen you do.
Like?
See you walk around and be able to find door handles without feeling for them. Things like that.
Okay.
So I'm pretty sure you can see me, but regardless,
And you're basing that off of any kind of
just my
examination?
own impression.
All right. All right.
So, Anyway, and I did offer you, admittedly, there was no way I could have done it in there. That, I've offered you a chance to verify my identity as best we can under these circumstances.
Yeah, I don't feel comfortable putting my hands on you.
Sure,
Yeah.
but I totally invite you.
Okay.
I'm not worried about that in the least bit.
Yeah.
One thing I have seen is you are not a violent man.
Yeah.
That's no question about that. I don't worry about you at all.
Okay.
So if you wanted to do that, like I said, I got a bunch of attorneys here that'll even verify who I am.
Yeah.
But then again, how do you verify who they are?
Exactly. That's
So
the problem.
again, what would you suggest?
Well, if I had somebody I trusted with me, which sometimes I do, sometimes I
Yeah.
don't. But
That
then
would have helped. Yeah, good
So I
point.
know some places in Canada they have Braille like ID cards for police officers. I know somebody mentioned a badge, but badges you can buy them.
You can buy them,
Yeah.
but I can buy an ID card with Braille on it too.
Yeah, but that's why if you have a standard one, for the department, I can go to the department and get one and all right, this is what I'm feeling for. You know what I mean? I can verify it.
Well, you know what? I will look into that. We order our cards through a company. I don't know if they have a Braille option on them, but that's not a bad idea.
Okay. Yeah, you said you saw some of the videos. You see the one with Potter and what's his name? Watson? Mm-hmm. From last week? Yeah. How do you think they handled that?
I'm not going to comment.
Okay. All right. Well,
So anyway, I understand your position in all this.
and what is that?
On not being able to identify me
Okay.
and all that. But like I said, I had orders from the judge, and it was going to be you'd either turn the camera down or I'd bring you up in front of him and let him make a decision what was going to happen to you.
Sure.
So
All right.
So if you can find something that actually says that there's any court rulings that change this, you can submit that to the court so they're aware of it. But
Yeah.
as far as I know, like I said, I've been dealing with courts I've been a cop for 32 years, and I know some courts allow it and some don't, and the judge gets to make decisions in his courtroom.
So you keep calling it his, but it's the people's court, right? And it's
It
supposed
is.
to be. Yeah. So that's an issue. Like trying to say that it's that one person's court is just
He is the
inaccurate.
person in control of that room.
And yeah, I disagree with that as well. So.
Well, there's 200 years of actually going far back into English common law that
Yeah.
will establish that.
That's actually still part of the Constitution, is that you're in the Sixth Amendment. You're entitled to common law proceedings, not these kind of things where it's all extra at law things that
Yeah.
don't really apply to most things.
So, anyway, it's gone hundreds of years, probably back to about the Magna Carta. That judges have authority in their courtrooms to control their courtrooms.
Well, it's interesting you brought up the Magna Carta, because that's one of the documents where I believe it was the noblemen went to the king at sword point and said, hey, you sign this, the lands that you have deeded to us and give us these titles,
Yep.
these are ours to control, not yours. So that's a step towards freedom, right? And now this right here is a step away from freedom, saying
Again, this sort of thing has not changed in all those years.
Oh, it absolutely has. In common law, people could come and go, and take notes and record. If they had those devices, which they didn't back in the day, but we do now.
But in all those times, the judge has been able to say what people can and cannot do in the courtroom.
Well, not in common law court, because there wasn't a judge. There was just a jury of your peers. So.
Well, I mean, you still have that. That's still an option at a later point in the process.
Yeah. Okay.
No. Anyway, that's really all there is to it. You're more than welcome to come in and sit and listen to the proceedings, as long as you put the phone away and put the lens cap on the GoPro thing.
What about audio?
Audio is fine.
You audio recording? Okay.
Yeah, because the court is actually audio recorded.
Yeah, that's what I thought. But it's interesting. Usually it's the other way around. Usually video is okay, places not audio. I understand when there's jury, you don't want to record the jury for people messing with the jury to mess up the trial. So.
Well, yeah, they don't record in the jury room, but the
Right.
but the trials are audio recorded.
Audio, yeah. Yeah, but they're even when they allow cameras in like bigger courts and things, they don't. Cameras are always at the witness stand or at the prosecution, defense, never, and the judge, never at the jury.
Right. They do try and protect the jurors who are just citizens trying to do their civic duty.
Trying to weigh the facts.
Yeah.
Speaking of weighing the facts, do you guys have body cams or dash cams here in Ocean
We do
Shores?
not.
Really? Do you know if anyone in the county does? I know that most of the local municipalities don't.
Nope, I don't. Not that any I know of. I know some troopers have them, but none of the other. The only other agencies we closely work with that we actually, because we're kind of isolated out here, the only other agencies we regularly have any direct contact with is the sheriff's office,
Right.
the state patrol, and sometimes Hope Whim. Those ones I know. Like I said, some troopers I have had when I've been on scene that told me that they have dash cams, but
Okay.
not all of them.
Yeah.
So I never know.
Okay. So you think the PD will be open this
It
afternoon?
should be, like I said, unless she's out for something.
Okay.
I just don't know, but it should have. She should have been gone from 12:30 to 1:30.
Okay. All right. Well, maybe I'll go try that again.
Okay.
And get some paperwork.
All right.
All right.
All right. Well, take care of yourself.
Okay. You too.
All right.